Space is one of the pinnacles of human curiosity, and every day we hear news of new discoveries about planets, stars, or even galaxies. This was also the case in the 1950s, as debates about whether a living creature could survive in the vacuum of space persisted. Soldiers and scientists decided to address this uncertainty, leading to the birth of the legend known as Ham. This is the story of one of the monkeys that made the greatest contributions to space science. Born in 1957 in what was then French Cameroon, Ham was trapped by animal hunters at the age of just 1 and sent to Florida. His destination was a US Air Force base, and he soon became one of 40 chimpanzees brought in for the United States space program. At this stage, Ham was yet to be named and was referred to only as number 65. During a series of rapid eliminations, the pool was narrowed down from 40 to 18 and then to 6, until it was decided that number 65 was the most suitable candidate for the mission. Had Ham not survived, he would have been remembered simply as number 65, as the Air Force was hesitant to give him a name to avoid public backlash in case of his death. However, among his caregivers, he was affectionately called Chop Chop Chang. In early July 1959, number 65 began training under the supervision of neuroscientist Joseph Brady at the Aeromedical Laboratory. He was trained to respond to sound, electrical stimuli, and timing cues. For pre-flight training, Ham was required to press a lever within 5 seconds of seeing a blue light. If he failed, he would receive a mild electrical shock through a device attached to his seat. But if he succeeded, he would be rewarded with a banana. Ham was not just an ordinary primate being sent into space. He had specific tasks to perform, and the results of his experiment would directly influence the Freedom 7 mission scheduled for May 5, 1961. Unknowingly, Ham was about to change the course of human history. The big day finally arrived on January 31st, 1961, when Ham was assigned to the MR2 Mercury mission and launched on a suborbital flight from Florida. Ham successfully performed the tasks he had been trained to do on Earth, even in the weightlessness of space. Although he experienced slight pressure issues during the flight, his suit protected him. Ham communicated with Earth as expected, completing his tasks with only a few seconds delay compared to his training sessions. After a 16-minute and 30-second flight, Ham's capsule splashed down into the Atlantic Ocean and was recovered later that day. He emerged from the mission with only a minor nose injury. After the flight, Ham spent 17 years at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. before being moved to the North Carolina Zoo. Ham passed away in 1983, after which his remains were sent to the Armed Forces Institute of Pathology for an autopsy. There were plans to follow the Soviet example of displaying him like space dogs Belka and Strelka by preserving his body for exhibition at the Smithsonian. However, public protests led to the abandonment of this plan. Instead, Ham's remains were buried in New Mexico. Ham not only paved the way for humanity with his mission, but also inspired his companion Minnie, a female chimpanzee who served the Air Force for many years. Minnie, Ham's successor, passed away on March 14, 1998.